Michael. And yes, also back to work is Congress, and they're divided as they get back to D.C. today with several high-stakes policy battles looming. Healthcare, federal spending, and Venezuela, some of the key things that lawmakers are set to focus on. And Michael Yoshida joins us live from Washington, D.C. with the latest. Michael, what do we know?
Hey there, Joe. You mentioned it. January set to be a busy month for lawmakers here in Washington, D.C. with a lot on their plate and plenty at stake. All of this happening with the potential for another government shutdown just a few weeks away.
Congress is back and already bracing for high-stakes battles.
Republicans have a responsibility to partner with us as Democrats.
The House of Representatives in particular needs to get back in the driver's seat when it comes to, tackling the challenges facing our country.
The 2025 fight over health care is continuing in the new year after Congress recessed without passing legislation to address the enhanced Obamacare subsidies that expired on December 31st.
In some instances, health insurance costs will increase by $1,000 or $2,000 per month. That's completely and totally unacceptable.
Some Republicans are expected to join Democrats this week in passing a bill that would extend those subsidies for 3 years. But it has an unclear future in the Senate.
We want to work with anybody to lower the prices.
Overshadowing much of the domestic policy debate, the U.S. military seizure of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, putting a vote on limiting presidential war powers in the spotlight. This week's vote had been in the works weeks before Maduro's late-night capture, but now becomes a major test of Republican loyalty to Trump after the operation.
It's always an option for our military to protect American citizens, of which we have many in Venezuela.
Virtually no consultation with Congress, and there's no plan that we can see for what comes next.
And on the heels of the country's longest government shutdown, there's the threat of another. Congressional leaders have until January 30th to reach a deal on funding the government.
And one thing to keep an eye on as this all plays out is how each party's leadership navigate their individual members' interests. We're into 2026 now, so some of those members, their eyes might start shifting towards those November midterms and their own political interests and futures as they go through some of these high-stake debates and votes.
I know that a lot of people are curious about a potential government shutdown happening again, I guess, beginning of February. What's the latest word on that?
Yeah, could we really be heading for another shutdown after that record-setting one to end last year? Well, we know right now is that several of the key members in both parties who work on these spending bills, they kept talking and working throughout the Christmas holiday, the New Year holiday, but so far sources tell us they're not really close, both parties, to finding any sort of framework for a deal. That includes the simple thing of just figuring out, top-level spending numbers. So a lot of work to get done, and no question the pressure is going to be ramping up as we go through this month, and really it's going to test the bandwidth of these members of Congress. As you just heard, so many other hot-button issues on their plate right now. Again, just a few weeks away from the end of the month when this current spending bill would lapse. And again, potentially another government shutdown on the way.
All right, clock is ticking. Michael, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.